As we get to roll off already.
Mid. Aggressive alt mid already coming out. So Shox is up close. One inside the apartment as well. That's going to be Kiyoshima. Smiths has to fall back. So they're going to play it passively.
So early. Gets the pick up on Olaf. Shox just backing it up. They got the flashbang. They got the smoke out there. So Kyo playing on balcony. Takes out JW as well. All the heads of Fnatic are snapping back, and they're realizing this push-up mid has severely failed for Fnatic.
And as a result, Flush is slowly lurking back toward Banana just in case. All right, guys, we're not getting through here. Maybe I can find something else, but there's still one player waiting over there. Very good passive play. Great read from EnVyUs to fall back inside the site. That way, if one player drops, they already have a second player to compensate for the angle, and they don't give up map at all. And in fact, they're not giving up any bodies either. Smiths with the double. Pronax finally gets one, but Shoxy's there coming through.
I think that was all 5 headshots. All 5 headshots up against Fnatic, and they never even got past the top of mid. As you see this first one from Shox, it's like, sweet, goes past his teammate and then into Olaf. And just reveals everything. The second the smoke went down as well, they realized, okay, we're trapped from apartments, we're trapped from the bomb side. We can't push up an apartment side unless that pusher up through the apartments was going to be successful, which it wasn't. So Fnatic,
and
a very quick loss.
The other thing where it shows discipline, a lot of players watching should pick up on the fact Shox got 1 kill. He knows it's pistol. He knows they're all going to be coming in behind like a train, so he instantly fell. He didn't stick around to find more, and by staying alive, again, they were able to support each other back on the deep side of the site.
It let Smiths do the work from up in library.
So one and done. Play it safe. SMG is going to come out. MP7, MP9, Smiths, Kiyoshima. P90 for MBK. Now keep in mind, P90 still gives you less kill reward, 300 as opposed to the 600, so that won't be quite as beneficial to padding the wallet of MBK, but then they've got the rifles, 1 M4 on Shoxy, and Kiyoshima are probably happy with the FAMAS.
They just want to make sure they can win the round. So Happy and MBK. That smoke able to cover the top of Banana, so it's very hard to get through into JW. Gets the kill over on Smiths, and Happy. He's really worried about that push coming onto A. In fact, he might just be worried about the flanker. MBK, there's that P90 going to work. It's all about the bullets. He's got so many of them, and still with a pistol. MBK takes 3. And that's why the P90 is just so beautiful. The clip is so big.
It's the exact spot you'd want to play it in. They're going to run through the smoke. You don't have to let go of Mouse 1. Just hold it down and let them walk into the bullets.
So EnVyUs, good start. Obviously, we're still looking at the pistol round from Fnatic. We're going to see another one now. They did buy up a little bit with the armor and the Tech 9s.
Great play. Swaps the pistol. Headshot. So up to 2. Full blocks, no nades, no armor, not a penny spent on Fnatic's side. Look at the aggression, though, from EnVyUs. Smith's already down mid. Shox is actually getting aggressive with the N4. That could be costly, but how wise was he? Catches them in the underpass.
It's only Flusher that's left now. They got completely rushed by EnVyUs. That almost feels like a message was being sent to Fnatic. Do not think you can move up anywhere safely. MBK is hunting him, and, well, just spray, pray, and kill. Flusher's going to drop. Not a single casualty for EnVyUs. Fnatic getting overrun.
Well, we'll see guns come out. This time they did go for that full save, not getting overly aggressive. They didn't have the rounds to work with. But again, we talked about early start for EnVyUs being the key. Their T-side still has to come on. This doesn't change anything when they swap over, but it does give them the confidence we talked about to at least build up and play a more passive game style, play to their speed, not to Fnatic's. It's Fnatic who have to respond now. So guns out. We're going to see the op already for Smiths.
Very defensive position, though, holding all the way back over on the Archer's side. So there's no ability to go for these mid picks, but Fnatic, like, they know the way they play, EnVyUs that is, because you think up through second mid. Olaf's done it multiple times. In fact, that's why he sits exactly here. They just get the crossfire at the top of mid. Why battle down the mid? It's not essential in the gun round for Fnatic,
And already 2 members down. MBK's still holding on to this P90. And we see why. He makes good work with it in the last 2 rounds. Fnatic have to change the approach a little bit. Crims heads over toward the apartment. Pronax still just lurking, waiting for the information from his teammates to come out, but they haven't found a pick at all, so the defense is holding station. No openings at all.
EnVyUs just so tight here. They smoke up over on the Archer's side, so at least there's one way that you don't think you're going to get hit by that rifle of Smiths. They all per Smiths.
That was your best bet. Pronax finds Shox inside pit. He was the low HP player, but headshot no less with the AK.
Wondering how much damage was done, but
So now they're going to go in. They have to play it on A because they still haven't forced the rotation. That's a single pick on the A site, not B. That doesn't make anyone lead off, but they know they've got an opening somewhere. Kiyoshima's not going to give it to them. That's Pronax caught on the backside of the truck. He'll do more than that as well, as the tow truck driver pulls them all away, as right now Happy does respond. Flusha goes down. Smiths went in before that, but Bomb goes down. At least a little bit of money, but EnVyUs and EnVyUs onto 4-0 right now.
Yeah, that was not the round the Fnatic were really searching for. They couldn't make EnVyUs really lose any of their weapons. The AWP is still held by Kiyoshima. Yeah, you get the plant down, and your money is starting to get a little bit higher as we're now into the 4th round in a row that Fnatic have ended up losing, so the bonus is starting to come up a little bit further. But it's a rough run. They've still got the AKs. It's still a buy round, still a gun round for them. But more importantly, they need the point on the board. They need to get this earlier round.
Yeah, that bomb plant plus the money bonus now up to 4 rounds is the only thing that allowed them to buy twice. No bomb, no guns. Potentially Galil's the way they've been buying in the previous games, but EnVy are off to a great start this time. Fire's already out, holds off MBK, but he's just going to wait and push forward. He's still holding on to this P90. So his economy has been just surmounting to an absolutely massive amount. 8,500 this round, 5-0 with that SMG. And again, I talked about how it's not the $600 kill reward. Doesn't matter if you're making it to good use and getting multiple kills, you're still getting a good amount of money. They'll flash through these smokes and they want to come in. They're going to have to get those early picks, and they do, but what the heck happened there? Well, the pick did come out.
Yeah,
Olaf's a little confused.
They got the pick coming up mid, but something went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, they actually opened up well there. They caught off. I'm not sure who it was. I do believe there's Kiyoshima on the arch side as Olaf made the play. Now the question is, how do they restart this? Because that round was underway. It's easy to match Medic to the start of the round, but there was already damage dealt and a player down, plus a buy that came out. So this is going to be interesting for the admins to come in. Archon Rage Smith says.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique one. And well, I guess I've never seen that in CSGO as far as competitive play. Very weird kind of message. So
yeah, I'm actually just going to
wonder what actually happened there.
Yeah, there's nothing in console that indicates it to me. So it could have just been a direct ebot issue or a config issue in the server. Boot into them and come back fully refreshed for the second game, but. Yeah.
At the same time, they'll probably want to just leave your coach behind so he can watch the previous series.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to get if you have data on your phone. Not hard to get it on Twitch as well. So I mean, you can grab
walking
that
around
mobile
Old
app.
Town just watching Twitch live
why
streams.
Not?
All right, so everyone's in, everyone's connected. There's going to be some random deaths happening, but
it's
I'm
just
not saying
ebot
during the round.
Itself.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
it's just ebot just deciding what it is, and there it is. So the game can come back on the screen. And we can get ourselves started again. EnVyUs, just to give everyone who has just tuned in, we're up to status update. We had to have a reload here in map number 2, where Fnatic have already taken out map number 1. They took out Mirage fairly convincingly, and now EnVyUs are the ones with the advantage. 4-0 here on the CT side.
So we'll call for the unpause. Set agreement that they would start 7 minutes after, and here we go. Time's going to go around. 5 AKs do come out. Money was exactly as it was. So 3 digits, the wealthiest players, 150 for Flusha on Fnatic. So this is still fragile. Remember, they had that early pick. They had that setup, but we'll see if they can come back in exactly as they were, because so far, no rounds going the way of Fnatic. And MBK still has that P90.
Seems like JW is actually really happy with the admin's decision, even saying big thanks to the admin as well, just before we started up this round. So Let's start it up. Let's start it up.
And that's the big thing. They took the time to make sure this was done proper. Obviously, yeah, the round started. We knew for obvious reasons we were going to restart the round altogether, but they did it right by getting the ebot to successfully recover the data. Smith's still holding off on the backside.
Well, they're saying they're actually waiting for the perfect time to kill us. So Smith is going to sacrifice himself here
so they have
to
actually
allow for the
on
initial frag. So great manners as well by EnVyUs to agree to this.
Wow, so they do agree. Yeah, and I was actually not unaware that they had made that agreement. So there you go. We are actually going to get that kill. And it's Olaf again that will grab it. That's exactly how things transpired. So he'll get the money that he would have had regardless. And now we'll get things unfolded. So it's Kiyoshima drop back over toward the pit. Our side has been given up, as we all know. We've had lots of time to think about it. Shox is inside the apartments, and Fnatic still need to find these picks. But a little bit of a different lead-off right now from the second B player on the rotation. Flusha still playing back on the lurk side. Smoke out top banana. That'll hold off NBK, but allows Flusha no opportunity to spot inside the site.
Yeah. Man, right now with JW, being able to pick up that AWP of the Fallen. In comes Fnatic. They can see one in the pick. Crim's already going to open up on Kiyashima. They need to go deeper right now. In fact, there it is. The A site cleaned up. And it's up to MBK as well as Happy to choose if they want to try and contest this. The only real choice they've got is potentially MBK moving up mid with the P90 or perhaps through second mid, but they're not going to do it. In fact, it looks like it's just going to be a fair save. Wait for the exit frags. Happy's in the, well, waiting over at CT, but MBK floating around. So they can only fit 2 in the corner there.
Or will they? They can just stack. Human centipede in the corner to survive the bomb.
How many can that? All 5. I want to almost like cameraman, go to the corner. Boom. They all live. They all live. Everyone holds hands. They survive the bomb plant. So Fnatic get their first round here.
And it's exactly as it was. So fair play both teams in the admin decision. It all pays off. We're at 4-1. Again, not a full money bonus, but it will be reset now. They're going to go for the op on JW regardless.
Yeah, that's the one that was stolen from Smith.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it doesn't even cost them to get that. That's why their money is looking so great here. But it's also showing the importance of that initial frag onto Smith. 1, to get the AWP. 2, Fnatic, once they were able to get that initial hit in, that's all Fnatic required. It was just that first little opening, and they managed to get it back again.
Slight change this time. Same default positions. NBK Happy at B. Smith is on that arch side, same place we just saw him, but little difference for Keo. He's actually up on the balcony rather than down below in the pit. This allows Shoxy to get a little bit more aggressive boiler side. But Olaf's looking for that pick yet again.
He's making a lot of noise here. I thought for a moment it was going to be a distraction, but with the rest of Fnatic arriving, the smokes come out and just slow him down. Yeah, they really want to make sure that bedroom is clear. But all of the CTs are now back up in the site. So Fnatic, for all these front positions, they can't find anything. Flusher, he gets to be the floater this time around over on Banana. Spraying out through the smoke, which is just obscuring all of his vision. So he's unable to cause any real problems for the EnVyUs defenders.
And Keo and Shoxy are playing so close together, one above, one below. This is a great crossfire position for them. It also means, though, because they're playing passively, that Smiths has to fall off. What that can be read into, though, and from EnVyUs' side is by playing passive, they're going to be further up the middle. If NBK wanted to, he can actually push down Banana now and get behind. He's not going to do that. In fact, they're not going to rotate at all, so EnVyUs has to hold the backside angles. There's your trade out. Pronax on the first. Smith with the double, gets it through JW's head, but Olaf finds 2 of his own. Shox goes down, and here comes the late rotation. Bomb already placed. So it's a 2v3 post plant.
Yeah, but this is so hard for EnVyUs. They're not in a great position. They need that initial kill, but Crim's going to sit tight in the site. Olaf and Flusher get to hide inside the pit. MBK showing himself. P90 spray, trying to find that little crevice to hit into Olaf. He is low at 29, but it bought distraction time for Happy, so he's able to move himself up to that small little crevice as Crims comes and has a bit of a peek, getting tagged up a little bit. Nolof wants to wait for the peek, and there it is. Happy will drop, and MBK, well, they're all just going to get the hell out of here. MBK probably won't be successful. Okay, he will be. Olaf misses the shot. And in fact, MBK just blows up with the bomb, and Crims is the only man to survive this. The bomb actually managed to claim a couple of them. They didn't get the AWP at the end, Mark, too.
That was, they stuck around a little bit too long there that time. So 2 guns dropped down to the detonation as well as the CT player.
Gives quite even buys here. Like, you don't have any head armor over on EnVyUs, but everyone's got either M4s or AKs.
And that was due to the fact, partially by NBK holding on to that SMG for so long that he built up a bit of economy. Again, it was the P90, not the $600 that you get from any of the other selections, but it still adds up, that's for sure. Meanwhile, 3 presents inside Banana this time. No smokes, but fire to hold them off. MBK goes for an early peek and loses half of his life points as he falls back inside B.
Yeah, he at least stops Fnatic from taking top of Banana, and that's really the goal here. They want Fnatic to keep trying to come into their A. So EnVyUs can play a lot more with the crossfire. Smith's sitting down low, but these flashes. JW, Smith pokes his head out, but he doesn't really get much. JW does drop. Shoxy, he's also around the corner. They were able to scout the bomb, and Shoxy, oh, he's going to drop. So that's Olaf. And to again find these entry frames. Having a great day. Happy with that small little slither of vision he had. And to take out Crims, but the plant's still going to go down. He's in the open on 15 HP. Flusher finally stopping Happy. Top fragger on map number 1. And now struggling to keep EnVyUs in it for this one, and Flusher. 1 bang through the smoke into the head of MBK.
Just Flusher things.
He was probably only checking for the corner as well. There's no way he knew he was in that smoke.
Yeah, here, look.
Like, oh, boom.
The lineup at top mid was actually scary. Smith's fired through 2. He actually only got the assist on 1, and Keo was on the opposing side. He did pick up the double. If they both went down without trading out either, they actually traded out both, without trading out either of those kills, if one stays up, then Envy would have been able to hold off that push on the truck side. So Fnatic answered back at the nick of time, but that was a very awkward positional play from them.
Fnatic doing just this little bit of a play they did yesterday. Wait, okay, well, we can't buy out the freeze time. Well, okay, that's not great. Yeah, but anyway, you got JW just running around with that semi, trying to push up through A, but normally he's a little bit more aggressive into the Archers area, but he held back instead.
But Flush is doing his job. Yes, this is a save, but by putting out that one smoke CT, all of the Envy players who are heavily favoring B will stay put. NBK's the weak player. He's on the rotate. It's just Happy that's left inside the A site right now. Smoke going to go off the arch. They'll spot NBK on that rotate. Bomb's going to wrap around. NBK wants to get behind them from the library, but the fire's going to hold him out. 17 HP for him. Happy just has to stay put and try and get some guns down from Fnatic as Flusha will close off on NBK. JW now adds as well.
Olof's in the perfect position right now for the rest of EnVyUs. Smiths, well, who's going to win that one? It's going to be Olof. There's still more help here, and Shoxy just does the side strafe. Taking out Olof, but with Crims, he's able to hold the apartments quite easily. So EnVyUs, there's no way they're coming in for the retake, unless Keo, he's got the Deagle, he gets one hit over on Pronax. Getting much more than this, he's definitely not going to get the defuse. So it's going to be 4 rounds to 4 anyway. So Fnatic hitting back here on the T side after being 4 rounds down before the pause.
Yoshima actually does find JW on the way out. It's crucial because he'll at least pick up the SMG from that. The round expires.
I want to give real props to Olof. Both for map number 1 and now into map number 2. He wasn't getting a lot during the first 4 rounds, but these last 4 rounds making a lot of space for Fnatic.
And I have to say, in the last month or so, I'd say Olof's been their best player. He had a match on, I think it was Overpass in the qualifiers against Flipside, where he dropped something close to 40, just simply getting up behind them, using the map to his advantage and flanking around. He's found great entries here, obviously starting things off on the first map, or pardon me, the first round that they won in this match. And again, he's going to try and push through this smoke. Nade go out, but no one else to support him, no flash to let him enter through, so he'll fall back off it. JW's there, but he's going back for the bomb, and the rest of them aren't getting ready to take over at the top of Banana.
As if they want to go in. Again, though, Fnatic, they've done this multiple times already in the first 8 rounds. It's add a little bit of pressure in a B, make a lot of noise, so you're trying to drag that extra floating player, which normally just sits on highway. In this case, it's already over on the A side, but you drag him over, you bait it out multiple times, and eventually is the boy who cried wolf.
Late smoke's over. Smith throws one across the roof onto the top of Banana and a pop as well. That's going to slow it down, but they're going to flash through it, but they're going to flash right into NBK as he gets 3. Happy collects as well, and the bombs drop. They secure the round.
And
there was a good effort from Fnatic. They're known to go through those smokes, but NBK's forward of it goes too deep, and he pops out at the right time. Perfect play by him.
You just watch this flash fly in, and Happy just pop it. NBK turns, perfect timing, and then 2 apiece.
Yeah, it was actually Happy. Yeah, so Happy did get that second one. I thought it was a 3K from NBK regardless. It was a perfect crossfire and great bait play from them.
He was there for the assist at least. So, EnVyUs finally able to get themselves on the board after what was 4 straight round losses. Which means they hold the weapons, but of course Fnatic still got a fair amount of an economy behind them. JW. Now he just has to wait. With double mollies at the top mid, it's just so difficult for Fnatic. In fact, he's just going to run through it, allowing Smiths to get a little bit more vision, the smokes.
And by having Smiths on the rifle, they actually pulled Shoxy to that side to support him. So without the op, they don't feel quite as confident that he's going to hold it solo. Shoxy now actually does rotate, joins Kiyoshima on the truck side. Good damage dealt. Is that nade going to go deep enough? No. Olof's going to get just far enough away. That won't do any damage. But look at this play. With Smiths dropping back, Happy's on the early... Okay, he's actually fading off because he's not sure now, but he was actually faded off. If they pushed Smiths from the arch, Happy was in a perfect spot from CT to fire through and catch them, and he may still get Pronax as they push on him. There's the first. Not even spotted out. No ability for trade. He's going to get 2, and they're going to walk in behind. Smiths takes the opportunity to say, hello, I'm still here. And he'll pick up his kill, and NBK is going to do the rest. This is coordinated stuff right now from EnVyUs.
Yeah, Fnatic, EnVyUs realized exactly what was going on. Fnatic, they want to play this just jump in through Arch, run over to B, but Happy was the primary problem. He was in the perfect position, as you see there, taking out the 2 and then allowed Smiths, who was just playing so defensive. Like, all Fnatic could do was just try and smoke Smiths out, but Happy read the play perfectly, and the 2 players that were trying to push up on B side, it ended up just being a YOLO kind of moment where they're not going to be able to win this unless they can push in and get the initial frag. Didn't happen, and EnVyUs with a really great round.
So Olaf again, this time with the Tech 9, wants to go for this peek. That Molotov only does 10 damage despite going behind him. He had to run all the way through it, but wasn't fully engulfed, so he gets around it. Shoxy's going to fall back as a result. And they know they're on pistols at this point. The gig's up. Happy's going to find JW as well on Banana.
This is now that problem. Again, the smoke, EnVyUs is just going to use that money to hold them back. There's still another 2 Molotovs available. And what's Fnatic got left to try and enter into these sites? You got 2 smokes, 2 mollies, and 2 flashes, all on Flusher and Pronax. Olaf and Crims are basically raw in this. But all Olaf can do is try and run this distraction game. Again, Fnatic, they're trying this time and time again. The Molotovs are just too difficult. If Fnatic try and push up, they come into the smoke, Happy, actually sitting inside the smoke blind, so he backs up, and MBK up on top of the spores of Smiths and MBK finding 2 with the crossfire. At least Pronax finds 1, and he's the last sole survivor looking for the plant, and he's going to get it down, so at least there's some level of money coming in here for Fnatic. And considering it was a pistol round, that's okay.
Small victory. Still in this game. Undoubtedly, as we go into the 12th round, they've already got 4. I mean, these 2 teams have got to be close. You got to look for 8-7 to be comfortable either way. But if even Fnatic can get 6, and if EnVyUs can't get their entry going, okay, so we do, okay, no, never mind. Shoxy got back in time. I thought we had a drop. But if Team EnVyUs have the same problem they did on Mirage with Kiyoshima and Smiths, or pardon me, Shoxy, unable to get those entry kills, then it won't matter. It's all of them to play for right now. It's all their job when we swap over. Fnatic just has to make it harder for them. JW is going to pull out the op. Galil only for Flusha, down to $0 as a result, and only a smoke grenade and an HE grenade to work with. Good news is they have 5 smokes, so they can still go for entries as well as 4 flashes, 5 flashes actually, as well as JW. So
the bad
they
news
still have
is
execution to work with.
If they don't get some serious work out of JW's AWP or all these weapons, then the next round's going to be really, really crippled. So it looks like Fnatic again. This time they're not making as much noise over on B. It's just Flusher who's doing that float move. They commit more of their numbers over towards the A site instead. At EnVyUs, they're fine with this. They've been holding a pretty tight defense so far. Smiths with a very defensive position over an Arch side means the Fnatic can't get that initial frag. There's what started their whole 4-round momentum train previously.
Problem is they haven't found the picks just yet. Smith's getting supported by Shoxy, this time front library. That does leave Kiyoshima alone. They smoke off the front of the truck. He won't have line of sight when they first come in, but oftentimes, if the other 2 players stay alive, stay efficient, they can distract enough for Kiyoshima to almost get overlooked inside that pit. So they still have to deal with them when they go for the entry, but they're actually not. They're playing this a little more passively and just waiting it out a little longer. I think they want that pick before they rush in.
Here comes your smokes.
Problem is, by waiting this long, though, look, Happy's already coming around.
And Smith's getting aggressive. Flash is going to shut him down. Kiyo, perfect position up against Olaf as the flashes do come in. He turns his back in time. Happy was able to take out Pronax as he just tries to battle it out from the library.
You can't take that fight. That's a good fall off on Apartments. You can't take that fight without a distraction to keep the pit player preoccupied as they go for the bomb plant.
I don't think he realized that Crims was in on the side doing that. And Crims takes out 1, but the number's just against him. So it'll be another round coming the way here of Team EnVyUs as they double the points of Fnatic, 8-4.
And Happy, the man that quickly got there, picks up 3 on the, I guess you could call it a retake. It was rather just a battle over the site in general. And he's up to $13,000 right now. So the economy has quickly come back to Team EnVyUs.
All the momentum get to go their way. Fnatic, they do actually have enough money for a buy.
String of 4s, though. We knotted it back up, and now we're 4 ahead again for EnVyUs. Money bonus starting to subside into a full amount for Fnatic. Pronax only on the Galil this time. Less smokes this time as well. JW doesn't bother because he went for that op. He's significantly less money to work with. Look at this gun juggling from Happy. He's actually, you can't see it on our screen right now, but he actually just juggled both an M4 and an op over toward the A site so he can swap out the gun as quickly as he needs.
That's a lot of money being invested in for those two weapons.
It's massive, but they've got the money to work with, and we're on round 13. They're not going to be broken that quickly, although he does buy himself very low to do that. But he actually bought an M4 and an AWP, walked them both over, so he'll look for the first pick with the AWP, drop it out, and grab the M4 if he needs it.
Yep.
That's old school. That's back when, like, 1.1 or beta whatever, when guns stayed on the ground into the next round. You used to juggle them back to spawn. It's old school.
Well, for now, Fnatic, again, they look towards this A side if possible. And Smith's mixing it up. Trying to move into a different position, which he so far hasn't been using up against Fnatic, which is funny because Fnatic have been checking it almost every single time. MBK is waiting for this push up, and now comes the flashes. And they're going to see him. Yeah, they do. Flusher takes out MBK. Smith at least stopped Olaf from making a lot of distraction movement over on B. There's Happy just running down. He doesn't see the guy on the left, and it's going to be JW finding Happy. So the bomb site B currently belongs to Fnatic. They're still losing a couple of players because of Smith. But the plan is down on top of the grill. Very exposed defuse place. And Fnatic, they just hold on 3 corners of this B site. The flash might be there. Catch out the one at the back. Now also seeing Crims.
Shoxy got a read on where all 3 of them are, so yeah, okay. Kyo went down, that made it easy to pick up. And if he picks up one, Kiyoshima then knows exactly where the other 2 are.
Crims was also able to salvage that AWP. So JW will have that for this round.
And now it starts to hurt. That's a huge investment that goes against them. And we talked about we're on round 14. They can actually still be broken into this next round if they don't pick this up. Likewise for Fnatic, though, that does reset money. So whoever loses this is going to have to force for round 15, and we could either see 8-7 as a result or possible 10-5. Fire goes out. That forces Olaf back down again, so no smokes out to allow him to first off extinguish those and secondary push through and look for that pick on Smiths as he's done so many times, or at least attempted so many times in this matchup. Now the smoke goes out from Smiths.
Yeah, no time as well between the two of them. He wanted to make, even if he extinguished the last second of his fire, wanted to make sure the Fnatic never felt confident to come through the mid, not for a second. So very successful. And that Fnatic, they burn again to the 1 minute mark. And unable to find an opening just yet. Shoxy, he's wondering. It's such a small little area you can look through there. But he's going to move up.
Kiyoshima's still in pit, though, so he can pick the angle he wants. So long as Kiyoshima can cover off apartments. Shoxy falls back. This does give up the arch side. There's your pop flash off the roof. Not going to catch anyone. They're not close enough. So that flash is unsuccessful. Second one does catch them, but that smoke's going to deter his vision, and Crim spotted him go by.
And that's why Crims can get the initial hit. They still got a defender on side. Well, I say that. Smith was it. Keo from inside the pits causing some problems, bringing down Flusher. Again, Olaf. He went this battle last time. Tries to flash, same corner, gets blinded himself. MBK, the plant goes down, but Crims gets rid of him over on the library side. Still Keo in that pit, the last man left alive. But he has to come out of the pit to get the defuse. Not going to happen. JW with the AWP will wrap it up. And we go 8 rounds to 6 as we go into the last round of our first half. Remember, Fnatic still have that 1 map advantage, and they're playing T-side here on Inferno.
So Force already coming out. Kiyoshima does go down. No head armor, but grabs the M4. It's a FAMAS for NBK. Shoxy can't afford the AWP, but it's a completely naked AWP. And okay, it didn't upgrade on her. I had to bring up the tab. It looked like he still had 5,800 after he bought the AWP, but it hadn't upgraded just yet. So glass cannon for him. And 2 5.7s. Now let's not forget, this is EnVyUs with pistols, so we will not discount them. Shoxy wants this early pick. JW is going to find him. Already pushed up onto the bench, and now this is an opening. That's 1 man down. Smiths has to hold, and he only has the 5.7 to do it this time. He wants to push forward and try and grab that AWP. That smoke's out to let him do it. There's the flash. He's going to rush.
JW was waiting for that pick previously. So Shoxy should be really sad about this moment, but at the same time, like, you've been slowed down. Kyo still defending, this time from up near the balcony area, but it's a very easy drop down now to go into the pit. And Happy trying to play the tip of the smoke. So he'll get the first vision. There's now Molotov's nades. They can see that Molotov coming out of the smoke, but they have no idea where Happy is. JW goes for a rando shot. Can't hit it, but the rest of his teammates can. And it seems like right now, Fnatic, everyone's inside the smoke. Smiths, they just walk straight past it. They don't see it. Smiths will shoot Pronax to the back. But he's the last man left alive. He gets the second, but the round is done.
That could have been interesting. He dropped the bomb, slightly overcommits on the second peak. Wasn't aware the player's on balcony, but 8-7, they bring it right back, and this is what I'm talking about. Now EnVyUs has to play their T side. Kiyoshima, Shox, it's on them right now. NBK's actually, over the last map and the latter half of last night, had the greater amount of entry kills, which isn't normally his role, so they need to step up massive right now, or they're done. They're out of this already, and they can go back to the hotel and get some sleep that they didn't get last night because they won't be playing again, that's for sure.
That's very, very true. And yeah, MBK, my eyes are on you, man. It didn't work in Mirage. Can it work here with the entry frag from Team EnVyUs? Can they get that momentum up against Fnatic? And the important point of it is going to be this pistol round now. Because if EnVyUs can get this one, they push closer towards that magical round 16 worth of victories.
And it also is going to be interesting to see how Fnatic approach this. Last game they had that lead. They went for those 4 spies. Keep in mind, this map in the qualifiers, 4 spies let Flipside get 7 rounds against them on the T side. Against TSM, it was 6-1. Similar story. They just couldn't ever build up an economy. The buys never paid off for them. So they have to be careful now because they don't want to give this map away. They've got Fro control, and Smiths is going to give NB control this round. JW's down and more to follow. NBK's got Crims happy. And now Flush as well is all left up to Mr. Pronax.
Fnatic looked in a fantastic position, but the problem was they just couldn't get any of these hits. Olaf pushed aggressively down the banana, while the rest of Fnatic were trying to hold very close up on the mid. While Pronax has managed to grab one here, is the impossible situation. A 1-on-5, and he's surrounded on all angles.
Now how patient can Fnatic be? That's the question. And not at all. No. They're going to go straight for that scout buy. Who do they throw it to? I think they're going to give it over. No, Olaf. Okay, and he doesn't have the armor. I thought where Pronax bought it, he might throw it to JW because he has the head armor.
But that's something too which Fnatic have been changing up recently. It hasn't been JW that's been running the orbs or the scouts on this map. It's actually been between more Crims as well as Olaf.
Specifically CT side. Yeah, no, you're dead right. And Olaf's already taken a bit of damage on that initial peak. Didn't get the tag in either, so already going against him. As Happy's going to try and get some establishment on the top of Banana right now.
It's just the fact that Scout's also popping off his shots. It's keeping EnVyUs back for now until they believe they can get rid of Olaf on that Scout. So it's more of a deterrent than anything else. MBK checking every single corner here with Happy, and now he's going to get hit up pretty hard. Down to 14 HP, JW comes out for the peak. Now is Happy, who's down to 33, locked in the small corner of Sandbags. More support is still there, but they don't want to let him out. They want to find this kill, but at the same point, JW can't go anywhere. Instead, Keo pushes up with that Tech 9. JW's asking for more help, and in fact, they can't run out. JW gets shot in the back by Keo.
Desperate play to run away. You almost feel sorry for the guy.
Crims is still able to level things up. As EnVyUs have made it very clear they're coming for the B side, but all of Fnatic, they'll release the remaining players, have rotated up. It's a little bit later for Olaf. A Flusher holds his line from the back of the plant. But Shoxy and Keo, they start to clean it up until Flusher again finds another one, and another one onto Keo. Happy. Well, Pronax will mop him up, and that's going to be a round of Fnatic.
Taste of their own medicine. Get the early kills with pistols. Don't give up too much bloodshed in response, and Shoxy actually went over top of that smoke, and when he turned around, Flush has slipped behind him. They actually passed each other almost twice when he went over top of the electrical spools.
That's such an expensive round.
Yeah, expensive round, and so much damage done before they even went in for the take on the site. So AK's down, recovered as well. We see 2 of them up. Pronax, Olaf, both holding on to those. JW is going to go for the Mag 7, and then it's 2 SMGs.
And you can see what Fnatic, what Pronax is able to do with all that extra money. He's still got the CZ auto there, but he's managed to pick up a Molotov as well as all the other nades.
Oh, he doesn't connect. JW was actually pushed deep in apartments right there, and Happy went to go toward the stairwell. JW knows they know where he is, so he's fallen all the way back, but he could have got an easy pick there. And again, he's still up close with this shotgun, and that's a potent combination.
And that's something which EnVyUs have to be very aware of. Getting out past JW when he reveals that position. In fact, it's something they don't even want to try and battle against at the moment. Need to find other pickoffs, or maybe get that floater from Archers to rotate back over to the B side. Right now, MBK and Keo are the ones who are trying to do that. And Keo is also getting that little bit of vision over the top of the smoke with the Deagle, hoping for the hit, but he just can't find anything.
And they're going to join them, actually. So the bomb's headed back that direction. Olaf changes his angle back to libraries, trying to let them come up into mid. He wants to suck them into a slaughter, but they aren't going. They're heading toward B, so Flusha and Crims have to be strong. Crims is known for his efficiency, but it's Flusha with the double so far. Crims wants more. He does try and peek back out with this SMG. Shoxy going to find him first, but Flush is still there, and that P90 is still wreaking havoc.
That was absolutely perfect. Crims kept him locked in, so they couldn't walk up the stairwell, and then Flusher, you throw out that nade, drops him down low, and the P90 does the rest of the work. And with the long clip, it's that never-ending stream of bullets coming at you. While they may not be the perfectly most accurate bullets in the world, just spray it a little bit, pray it, but in this case, it was just great control by Flusher. Just burst line it instead. And now we see EnVyUs. Complete raw pistol apart from, well, there's a couple of upgrades, but there's the flashbang that's in there too, but no armor this time around for them, which means Crims, yeah, you'll get the easy pickup on MBK. And the rest of EnVyUs, now they know they've got nobody over on the B side. No aggressive maneuver from Fnatic to push down through Banana, however. So EnVyUs won't be able to find any kind of like floating hero, floating player. So unable to grab his weapon.
Shoxy trying to get aggressive out the boiler doorway. JW still with that shotgun. In close enough proximity to be absolutely lethal when they come around, as Pronax will fall back into the pit this time. And Pronax has the AK to work with, so not only will he be able to hold off the apartments efficiently, he'll have the range to work with if JW gets overwhelmed, because look at the number of players that want to come in on him right now. And with these Tech 9s, if they come around fast, then he has to go for the reload time of the shotgun. Oh, actually doesn't even get the first, so now it comes down to Pronax. That AK has to be strong. He already finds one, peeks back out. Olaf's going to catch Keo actually going into the site, but they still haven't found Pronax. That means they can't push forward, and Olaf takes advantage of that, comes around the side, and Shox will go no further.
He couldn't go any further. When you got Olaf shooting at you from that angle, you want to get down the pit and get rid of him, because like basically you got this perfect crossfire. You can't get close enough to get around his cover, and you can't fall back because you're being flanked and you're the last man down. You can't take a step backwards or else the round's lost anyway. So a real tough position here for EnVyUs and Fnatic. They hold a one-round advantage at the moment, but we see weapons up now for EnVyUs.
Deep nades, not a lot of contact dealt, but MBK actually takes a heavy amount of damage. Does return fire with that AK though, so P90 out of the hands of Flusha.
JW pushed down with him. So even though it's just one player going down, there's still tit for tat, and JW playing this very aggressive position, continuously firing through the smoke, even having Crims now arriving with the AK, having a bit of a guess where it is, and Happy survives on 9 HP.
And that was just pure spam back and forth. If he held his crosshair to the right, even one bullet longer, Happy was gone.
And I'm wondering how long it is before EnVyUs try and push up. Like they know they're going to kill over on B, and they should be realizing, with both an AK and an M4 being fired, that that's two players playing on that banana side. Which means there's only two defenders over on A. It's the best advantage you could have had, but they've taken so long that the rotation's already come back. So Crims is already coming back to the A side.
JW immediately inside this smoke. He's hoping that if they flash through, it'll go too deep for him. Actually, he's going to go through himself.
It's delay. You got 30 seconds on the clock. There's no reason to lose your life here, and JW's got to get out of here, and he will. 41 HP. And now a block flash for him, even tagging up. Keo was the man to get hit. 18 seconds on the clock. They have to keep coming. Support's rotating over, but Shoxy quick on the pick. JW's going to drop the plant. They have to get up in 10 seconds. And it will go down top of the grill, so Crims, Pronax as well as Olaf, the three men to try and retake the setup against the four injured Ts. Spraying into the corner, so Crims at least can let him know they're not in close on the left. But that means yes, it's back left, back right. One up top banana. And in fact, I don't think they even have enough confidence in this. The crossfire is just way too good for EnVyUs. And yeah, they're getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, poor CTs from a poor CT team. Saving their guns in this poor economy. So they'll get back. Crims is still going to be up close. Bomb goes off. I love that. By the way, small detail. I love that the bell rings when the bomb goes off in Inferno. It's a nice touch. So that knots us up on 10s as EnVyUs do pick up their second T-sided round. Remember, they got the pistol, but it was the eco that came out immediately from Fnatic to stop the momentum early. Now it's just going to be a brunt force battle all the way to the end. We're going to see the op come out. JW is going to have it CT-sided this time, and two AKs that they've recovered and held on to. Pronax has had that for, I think, close to 3 rounds at least at this point. He picked that up during that eco win.
That ain't going to be a long way away, man. Another 49 rounds and we'll get there.
Exactly.
That's all it's going to take. JW hoping. Okay, he sees a leg finally. That wasn't the pick he was searching for. Primarily because he didn't get anything, not even a single point of damage. EnVyUs poking and prodding. Still can't find any initial entry frags. And where do they even look? It's difficult because Fnatic is in such a defensive position. Like, you try and play from truck side and you're going to get completely taken out. But playing from our side, that was where the whole of Fnatic's defense is. Flusher's only just moved in the flashes. He's going to start spraying through the smoke. JW gets the first one. He's actually battling in the smoke. Flusher as well. They just can't get any kind of vision. Flusher again through the smoke. Going to find two, but he can't find the third. 2-on-2 situation. Olaf and Crims. The plant will be going down, so they have to come in for the retake. They do have a good angle. MBK going to scat at Olaf at the same time. Olaf scatters him out, puts down that grenade. Hitting into MBK. He then does the damage into Crims, but it's a 1-on-2. MBK is all that's really left. They're trying to molly him out of the pit. What else have you got? You got one more smoke grenade, but Olaf, he comes in to battle him. Takes a fair amount of damage to get the kill. And MBK, Crims will take the round. Fnatic hold this narrow victory of theirs.
Jump peek just to get information, but Crims was already on the high ground, so shoots over the top. I really wish we could have seen JW's, this kill right here. Yep. I wish we could have seen that from his perspective, because that flash went deep and he turned back. No scope, I can only imagine on the opposing side.
I'm guessing he played with sound. That's all he could have had.
And not to mention, Flusha was just about a step further from being blinded himself. He just barely got inside that flash, so they held the corner. Those two kills go out. I mean, then you're not playing on a retake for one player in pit. You're playing with three in the post plant that are well secured into post plant positions.
JW is looking for that mid pick again, but Happy's going to get the better of him. So this is that early engagement that EnVyUs needed to win. So they got 1 minute and 30 seconds with a man up. Of course, they're not looking at the greatest amount of weapons, as MBK is still only walking around with a deagle. And Fnatic still have a lot of smokes and molotovs behind them. So defending top banana is quite easy. And Pronax is committing most of his smokes. In fact, that last smoke now into the top of mid.
And they're very, very spread out. Pronax was alone in A for quite some time. Flusha has come back over. And as you say, the smokes are getting thin. They'll have one more go out on the top of A. In fact, EnVyUs is going to put one out themselves. That slightly leads off toward Arch side, so you would expect they might try and get a pick on Truck. If anything, it leaves a hole for Shoxy to pick out from the boiler doorway, but that's not looking like the place of attack right now. Does EnVyUs have other plans?
Yeah, they want to try and get right up in their face, but Crims, he knows it. He held onto that Molotov until the last 30 seconds. So throws it down, so top banana. EnVyUs, now in come the flashes and the smokes, but Olaf throws the double flashes. They're completely blind, so Crims can play. There's a little bit of problems, though, with his teammate sitting right behind him, but it's still a 2-on-2 as Olaf remains alive. The ult from Happy's the last thing left up. He's got 10 seconds on the clock, and the bomb's too far away from him. This round belongs to Fnatic. It'll be 12-10.
Talk about a decisive 1v1 inside the side. Olaf goes down, plants in, Happy's there, and Pronax has to go for the retake. Instead, no time for Happy to get in and take that fight. He just runs away, holds on to the op. So Fnatic now have 2 rounds to their name late.
It's crazy to think that EnVyUs found themselves on such a short timeline when you're able to have that initial hit, that you bring down JW, you've split up the defense. There's only 2 on each side. You take so long, the smokes, the molotovs, the nades, everything was just slowing them down.
Yeah, and they were well staggered on top of mid, as we saw, and also very disciplined from Fnatic not to peek. They just held the angles. If they want to get the information, if they want to find out how the defense is split up, they have to then go for the peek, and they didn't man up in that case. They weren't willing to take that risk, and it pays off. As JW, there it is, the shotgun again. It goes to it and uses it up close.
That's what it's all about.
We've seen it really become an effect, but Happy's now got Pronax in response.
Yeah, they were trying to bait their EnVyUs. They move up with the pistol players, make a large amount of noise. You're not going to, well, you would have been expecting that Happy would still be holding on to his AWP, but they're trying to bait a couple of Fnatic players out of position. JW is going to switch his gun over. He tags up MBK a little bit through the smoke, but it's more of a spraying guesstimation. Happy, after getting that initial hit over on A, he just tries to rotate and find a better position.
Yeah, definitely wants more. JW is going to find Smith, so that'll slow them down further, but here comes the pistols. NBK's found JW. That bomb's down in middle, though, so they will have to go back for it. They're going to be able to do it. Flushes drop. Crims does get Happy, but he's only a lurk. So Olaf's got to get here quickly. NBK is on red HP. 36 to be specific, as Kiyoshima does try and get it, and there it is. The shot from MBK is too strong. Olaf can't do anything, and it's all left to Crims.
Yeah, but they can see his head, but MBK loses his. Crims, can he finish it? No, he cannot. Kiyoshima will hold the round. It goes 11 to 12 now. And JW, how many times have we seen him get that initial hit and then try and fall back unsuccessfully? Keeps getting shot in the back on the retreat.
I mean, that's the hard part of Banana. You really have to play it extremely aggressively, but yet disciplined, like we saw Kerrigan do yesterday, or you've got to be in a very secure escape position. And I'll use another TSM example. Zipnix is the guy that always gets caught, and JW is the one that's getting caught today, trying to get back up to around the car. And
but in this case, he was playing her from the top of mid as well as in apartments. You come out, you try and get the initial shot, but so far I haven't seen him get a kill and then properly escape.
Again, he is using the shotgun, though, so he does have to get a little bit more aggressive. He hasn't really had the op-out in that position where he can play with the range. So Crims does come around. Late smoke goes out. Might have spotted Kiyoshima, but it won't really matter. That's pretty default, so they won't get any read off of that. In fact, Crims is going to go all the way back over to B. So we may have expected, having not seen anyone, that they're already inside Banana. And they are heading back that direction. Pronax now fades off toward Arch side for a quicker rotation as well. JW pushed up in apartments is giving them early information. And all he has to do is actually sit inside Boiler. There's no hitboxes on the edge of the window there, so he can play it with an angle that's very hard to spot. And he'll just call if they come back. Meanwhile, it's in on B.
Yep, they just jump in. MBK and Smiths hoping to clean it up. MBK picks up both Flusher as well as Crims, cleaning out the construction area. Pronax moved back as quickly as he possibly could, but chance of a kill is low, and chance of support is even lower because Shoxy, he is just waiting for JW to run up the banana. They level it up at 12 rounds apiece.
And Kiyoshima was actually, okay, still not top fragging. It's NBK that's doing so, but Kiyoshima was on the bottom after the first half. We talked about his need for a T side. He has definitely come on strong. And they keep it knotted up. They come back from the 2 they're behind. Fnatic will still be able to force out onto full rifle setup. It's 2 FAMASes, JW and Olaf Meister. So again, JW not able to get the op out. Again, we talked about how Olaf often does on the CT side, but he has used it already once in this match, and here's your deep smoke. Now they want to get aggressive. Crims is already down in the arch, but he's not going to push forward. In fact, he already falls off of it.
That boost up of Happy, primarily looking for the pick at the top of the car, but unable to find it. So these, again, aggressive smokes. Impossible for EnVyUs to get up there, no matter what tricks they try.
Meanwhile, look at the presence inside Boiler. Happy's outside mid. They want to set up for the crossfire. Pronax has read this perfectly, though. He's already back. Olaf's inside that smoke. Can't get caught. Kiyoshima does get JW. That opens up truck side a little bit. Crims has to be careful. But again, Pronax is in a good support position.
This is not the point where Olaf wants to hang around. He was in the small little corner. He does get a little bit of tag into Smiths. The Molotov actually shutting down the movement over to Arch, but by doing so, you're flagging the fact that you should be heading over towards B because you're not going to cut off your own point of access. So Flusher will be the man to try and do a hell of a lot of work. And he's realizing it too, backing up, drops out the flash so he can just keep MBK blind. Can't get the initial hit. Secondary flash now. So there will be more blinding to come in. Smith to die, but the support as well as Kiyo's grenade. Finding Flusher in the back corner.
And the entries are strong now from EnVyUs. This is looking better and better with every round. 3 straight times they've opened up a site, got a bomb plant down, and again, they've got the man advantage post-plant. They're not even going to go for this. Fnatic can't afford to. So they'll run away, and this will give the lead back to EnVyUs. And I have to say, the momentum is looking very good for them in these last few rounds. Kiyoshima again this time, 2 kills. It's oftentimes people praise Shox as the better entry fragger. I've always said Kiyoshima, specifically on this map, is probably the best at entering into the B site in the world. And he's starting to show exactly why as they get in there yet again this time. And the lead goes their way.
That it does, but how much can they hold on to it? I doubt EnVyUs want to find themselves in overtime positions again. They're already tight enough as it is. It looks like JW is going to need a moment. And Fnatic, they're still not looking too bad on the money. The fact that Olaf was able to hold on to that AWP, they still got a couple of weapons behind them. So it's not as though EnVyUs can have a free run into their 14th round victory here.
And he did say timeout as well, so I'm assuming this is entirely strategic at this point because Fnatic have now given up 3 rounds in a row, as well as the first blood on all of those rounds, and they can't hold the sites.
Yes, they need to work out. They need to work out how to keep it tighter.
Even on the 2 rounds ago on A, when Pronax was over early, they couldn't hold it with 4 men there. And at that point, you have to question yourself: do you start playing more aggressively for that initial pick, or do you play entirely passive and potentially stay efficient for retakes. Crims is normally extremely good at that on the B site, but Kiyoshima is just absolutely annihilating them when they go there.
Or do you even go for the picks? Like, where is our aggressive defensive positions? You're able to throw the smokes and molotovs, hold inside the palm, hold in that small little corner to make it so if EnVyUs try and push up banana, they get mowed down, or you can play the front of apartments.
Well, that's the debate, because one is you get the pick, you get the presence early, you limit them, you limit their firepower on entry just by having less of them alive, simple math, or you play passively and hope for retakes. You might get one or two to close down the entry. You need trade kills in that position. Again, Kiyoshima's been getting into B relatively unscathed. They need to trade him out, or at least NBK, who's following in behind him. If they don't get one of those two kills, then they're not going to have a successful retake. They need efficiency inside the sites. Even if it means Krim stays toward oranges where he normally plays, even if he dies there, it means Flusha potentially falls out, gets all the way back into construction, and waits for his teammates to get to B. Because right now, there's not really a retake potential, as we're seeing they're down before. Again, that save round we just had, Olaf wasn't even out of A, and they'd already decided, okay, we have to save.
Yeah. Well, Fnatic, rounds are required. Obviously, we need to start up the game as well once the players have finished having their bit of a chat. So much on the line here. They still don't know their opponent if you do win this game, but if you lose this series, you are out of the CSGO Championship Series. Coming up directly after this will be the winner's bracket final. NIP to go up against TSM. Not something which everyone would have predicted, especially that victory of NIP over EnVyUs.
And 2-0 on paper, TSM against Fnatic at LAN. Not a lot of people would call that, but let's not forget they were the ones that took the bronze medal away from Fnatic at X Games. TSM seemed to be able to play against Fnatic quite well. I'm sure they would actually, out of the two teams in this game, if they had to pick one of the two, again, they could still beat NIP and move forward, but if they had to pick one of these two to play and win this, they would want it to be Fnatic. I can only imagine that would be their choice. And Fnatic and Envy stack up very well. The biggest change in everything, again, is NIP beating Envy now gives them sort of the hot seat. It's more so if Envy go out here. If Envy goes through, then they're actually, I would say, potentially straight into the grand final against TSM in that case. So, I mean, that changed everything. That was more of a game changer to this event than TSM getting through. Because, again, Thorin made reference to it. These two teams have both fought through a lower bracket before.
Yeah. So they know it's familiar territory. We started again, so our 26th round begins now. And we'll see what Fnatic have been thinking about. They've actually managed to switch up their AWPer, so it'll be Olaf, who is the man that's looking for the initial pick. Instead of JW, they just give him that basically mini shotgun to try and be more defensive up against Fnatic, but more aggressive defensive.
Shox is still a little bit quiet, so not to put too much pressure on them, as they are the team with the one-round lead, no less, but the lead. If he could come alive as well, this would only get even more hard. It's going to be NBK that's going through again. He does get caught this time. That's Crims, and that's for free. They're not close enough to rush in behind him, so Crims barely loses anything. In fact, Flush is the one that took the damage with only that CZ75, and now Crims can fall back into oranges.
And Flush has still got nades and molotovs. It's really difficult. It is really, really difficult for EnVyUs to get all the way up.
Got the M4 now to pull out. So man advantage, won't have to split up at all. Olaf does get flashed off the arch. He'll go passive on that position. So JW responds, does the same inside the site. This does give up your initial position on top of middle, but they'll be able to support each other from here. Pronax is still in his default as well.
Yeah, they're trying to take as much time out as possible. Olaf got to actually get himself out of here right now. The flash behind him. He sees three players, shoots down one, can't get the second. Kiyoshima able to get up through arch side, but they're still battling out from pit. And Pronax worried about actually who's coming in through above, but he's actually below. And Pronax and Flusha get 2 and 1 apiece.
And Flusha had a very passive rotate. He didn't come through Speedway, go directly to arch because he was worried there was still a chance. Because Shoxy went so passive. Getting everyone crossed up. Neither of those players are on their A team. But the player at Arch went so passive that there was a chance they could have gone for the wrap. So rather than going through Speedway, he goes through CT. That puts him in library. And at that point, they weren't expecting him to be there. He picks up 2 easily. So very smart rotate from Flusha.
And with that, it levels up again, 13-13.
Olaf Meister was the player I was looking for. I got there in the end.
I have confidence in you. Unlike Happy, who ended up just dying. So problems for EnVyUs again. They're down a man. And Fnatic, they don't really need much. Just keep these smokes, keep these nades. Again, we play this delay game where EnVyUs are searching for an opening. They want to try and level the numbers up, but The only way right now they can potentially do it is either a quick move up through A, and they have to move quickly with the smoke coverages and the nade coverages which Fnatic keep throwing out. And EnVyUs is doing the same thing to Fnatic too. It just delays up the push. So you have to force the issue when you're ready. But it's all about the timing of when you're ready. Olaf again. Same position, same time. Throws out the flash, and he's able to get the initial hit onto Shoxy. Smiths will get the revenge though. So again, Olaf unable to shut down this push, but where is EnVyUs headed to? They're making a lot of noise coming this way. That's why Flusha goes for the flashbang to start with, and he's able to get the kill over on Kiyoshima. Support was there from Crimson. The Archers are just shut down, and so was the bomb. MBK, they throw the flash his way, but Flusha will mop it up, and that's a twofer for him in this round. Combining up with Crimson got the same.
And same rotation from Flusha again. That's why he goes deep in CT. That time it was even better because Crimson was on the speedway, so he could contribute as well. But that's why you hope that they run by, they put the blinders on. It's not necessarily about the fast rotation. You just have to be in a smart position. So twice in a row he's taken that approach, and this time they do walk right into him. And it's back to pistols now for EnVyUs. They're going to go for Tech-9s and a Deagle on Shox. We'll see if he can bring that alive.
And they need to make this round work so hard, or else we've got 2 match points for Fnatic. But how do you really do it when Crims now changes up the smoke position on Banana? So it's right in front of the car, and they're spamming through the car, expecting Crims to maybe just shoot back at them.
We give away his position, so he is being disciplined in that regard.
It's just trying to slow down EnVyUs. If you go start checking spots earlier than, like, you take out top Bananas, then you start checking around the corner or up to schools, like, you waste a lot less time. And that's what Fnatic want EnVyUs to do. They want to waste time on these players. So when they do come in, they're feeling pressure. The smokes, the flashes, everything's flying in from EnVyUs and Crims. That nade hits so hard, but Flusha, he gets one, looking for the second with that M4 from the corner, running out of bullets in the clip.
That skybox can be utilized so well. Look at the damage those nades did just from bouncing off it. Flusha now has to come back out from the backside of Emo. Crims has already dropped, but he's got one.
Flusha.
Make it 2. Huge play from him, not able to get dropped down yet as Shox will eventually get the kill, but that leaves only one, and it's all him.
Great round. Absolutely fantastic round here from Fnatic with 2 match points to eliminate Team EnVyUs, the first team to potentially get eliminated here from the CSGO Championship Series. As that point from Flusha came out even further, so Smith wasn't fully ready for him to be out that far, taking out Kyo as well. There's also the initial pick of Olaf. He rotated so quickly, got that AWP shot off, and EnVyUs, they started looking in multiple directions.
And EnVyUs, I have to say, have looked a lot more alive this game, but keep in mind, they're not used to playing morning games lately, so still that slow start could haunt them from Mirage. If this goes 2, they'll always think about that, and that's the fate we may face. Match point, only 1 rifle up, 2 Deagles, 2 Tech-9s, Pronax in default, waiting back toward the pit. JW a little bit more aggressively this time with the M4, does just put out some damage, or at least potential damage in toward that boiler doorway, but nobody's there to catch the nade on the other side.
Might be more importantly just trying to get him to look over towards the truck side, give Olaf that space as he played more aggressive in this round. They do actually let one come up. That vision, Olaf actually missing it. The Shox are taking so much damage from the fire as well as even a couple of bullets from that M4 of JW. There's Crims who's gone down, Flush, a quick rotation, taking out one. Can't get the second, but still heavily tagged in. As JW has managed to kill off Shoxy. So they got 3 players for the T's over on B side. Got to get that plant down. At the same time, looking for the traps. JW with the flash. He's not going to be able to see anybody at the moment. But the plant is down. Slow push. Check the corners. Every single one. Happy.
That flash, though.
He's so blind, but he doesn't know. JW doesn't know. So Pronax able to kill him off. But then again, sorry, Happy's able to kill him off.
It's a solid trade. Process of elimination is all it has to be. Look at the other 2 players. Only 20 HP for each of them. If that's a free kill, that's a different story, but now they can try and work in, but they've already walked past Smiths. He's got behind him. They overlook construction, and now Flush is stuck inside the site. He has to try and bait them out on this defuse as Kiyoshima pops out, and he's going to get it.
EnVyUs keep themselves alive with only 1 more round until they can force it to an overtime. If that is going to be possible.
Smiths timed that to perfection. Out the backside of construction immediately after they go by.
He knew he needed that M4 to make it work. And Fnatic, they just slipped themselves inside the side, but still,
and now look at the money the other way. Look at the money the other way, though. We've got, again, Mag 7 for JW. Sure, he's gone for that a lot this game, I will say. But a FAMAS and a CZ75 for Flusha.
Shoxy. If they're able to get a frag off, if they're able to hold up in apartments, then Fnatic are going to be surrounded on all sides. They know they're under pressure. No aggressive defensive positions, as Happy's able to clean that one out. It's be a little bit surprising for him considering how much JW, when you don't have a lot of money, you find that mini shotty.
Everyone playing so carefully, too. Happy checking every corner as he comes up the stairs. Fnatic playing passive positions again. It's been working for them for the most part, but nobody wants to give up first blood. You think back to VP and Bialy in the overtime against TSM. He was almost in tears when he made the mistake, and there's their first aggression. They catch them off, but they are still all coming around in a train.
Wow, Happy, Pronax getting deck 2, Olaf as well. There's only one left alive. It's all up to MBK. He's on the bomb plant, but he's being surrounded on both sides. The nades coming in. They just want to clean him up. Crims as well as Flusher. They're going to walk through the smoke, and MBK will drop Fnatic. They will eliminate. They will eliminate EnVyUs, and that is going to be a lower bracket semi-final matchup. Don't know who they're going to go up against, but we do see the first progression.
Well, it's either going to be the rematch against TSM or it's going to be NIP, and honestly, all three of these teams have an equal chance to win this tournament right now. It has to be said. And EnVyUs, despite a string of excellent performances as of late, are out. The first team out. It seems unexpected, but really with these teams,
it's not what you were thinking.
Unexpected.
Like when you came to this, we were thinking, you know, it's going to be a quick 2-0. EnVyUs will probably drop down NIP, then NIP will have to battle up.